Development Bank of Southern Africa, that's a DBSA, has launched the second edition of the DBSA Youth Challenge. The competition is aimed at encouraging young people to come up with innovative solutions to help address infrastructure challenges. Winners will be eligible for funding worth a total of R1.5 million for the execution of their ideas, which have to be in line with the BDSA's key sectors, which of course include transport, housing, ICT, as well as water and sanitation. So they'll also be awarded a 12-month mentorship program to assist with executing their innovative ideas and building them into successful businesses. So for more on this, we are joined by Zwelakhe Tshandu, who is the head of knowledge management and innovation at the DBSA. Good to have you, Zwelakhe. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you, Leanne, on behalf of the DBSA.
Right.
And good morning to the viewers.
Fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about this. So I would imagine the aim of this challenge is to empower the youth, come up with ideas. What else are we hoping to achieve out of this?
We're trying to do basically a few things with this, Leanne. Firstly, to bring youth into the mainstream, insofar as them coming up with ideas around how to overcome some of the infrastructure deficits in their respective communities that will address particular challenges that exist, to give them an opportunity also to basically come up with these and to offer solutions and take them forward, but also just to give them a stake in the economy, participation, and so on. So that's essentially the essence of it, to bring the youth from the margins basically to the mainstream.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, talk to us about this obviously is not the first time that you're doing this, the DBSA Youth Challenge. So this has been an ongoing challenge. Absolutely,
yes. This is the second edition.
This is the second edition. We're doing. Let's look to when it was. I don't know, did you have it last year with all of the COVID lockdowns and restrictions? Did it go ahead last year, or was the last one 2019?
Okay, the last one was 2019.
Yeah, I thought so. It was almost as if 2020 didn't exist. But talk to us about the 2019 edition. What kind of ideas did you get? And who ultimately walked away with the prize, and what was their innovation?
Okay. Basically, we were very, very pleasant surprised with the 2019 edition. It went extremely well. It exceeded our expectations in a lot of ways. Firstly, in terms of the number of entries, we received well over 1,000 entries after only a 2-month run period for the competition. Because when you're going into it for the first time, you don't have a sense of what's out there, numbers and so on. So it was a success from that point of view, because it meant it was viable, there were a lot of entries to consider, and so on. The winners, basically, there was 4 winners. The first winner, the number one challenge was basically, the number one, prize was the entry where they were making basically sustainable bricks that don't use a lot of water. They made from recycled plastic, sand, and proprietary additives that ensure that the blocks are strong, durable, and basically fire retardant. So that was basically the first prize. Other ones were more around kind of like ICT, where it was a hearing aid that enabled kind of like hearing for people with challenges around hearing, making them more present and more alert to life-saving sounds. And then there was a tie for number 3, and they were around renewable energy, basically. One was a solar device, whereas the other one was about, making, high-grade methane from sewage, treatment plants as basically an alternative energy source.
Yeah.
So those were the winning entries, essentially.
Fantastic. I mean, if we look at the logistics around entering this competition, so who qualifies, what do they need, and of course, how do you actually go about applying for this competition?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. That's a very critical question. Anybody between the ages of 18 and 35 with an original idea that's never been tried out before can enter the competition. And the only stipulation on our side is that it should be something that is at the level of ideation at the very beginning. You know, someone's coming up with an idea as opposed to something that's already been prototyped, you know, sort of and so on. And there is, you know, a link on our website as a DBSA. It's a DBSA Youth Challenge, .org. So anybody between 18 and 35 that's resident in the country, whatever it is that they're doing, they may be unemployed, they may be at a tertiary institution, wherever they happen to be. And the only stipulation is that the innovation itself, innovative idea, fall within the sectors, you know, of the DBSA, the 7 sectors that the DBSA is involved in.
Yeah. So, you know, the real impact, I know you spoke to us about some of the ideas and the eventual winners from the first edition of this competition, but, you know, what is the impact on the participants and their futures? Because, I mean, that's really ideally what this is all about, is that you're just wanting to empower the youth, get these ideas, and there seriously is a very big shortage when it comes to skills, and also our infrastructure here in South Africa definitely needs many, many more ideas and skills coming into it. So let's talk to the real impact that a kind of thing like this has on society.
Yes, that's a very important question, Leanne, because just about, sort of a month ago, we requested the last year's 2019's winners to actually, touch base with us and tell us how, basically, and essentially the impact has been more than we would have anticipated. If you look at one of the winners, for example, they have formed a company now. They are basically sitting in the renewable energy space, and they're seeing their role as largely as entrepreneurs. So they've got their own company now. They are upscaling, the initiative, around, the methane gas, sort of option. If you look at the previous the winners around the company is growing in leaps and bounds insofar as basically, the brick making, process. And then the ICT sector innovation for, the hearing impaired is going extremely well. As a matter of fact, there was a sponsorship that was organized, and, they got financial injection beyond, the DBSA prize, to the point where they were able to move, the product, sort of forward, essentially. So there was investment, that was sort of done.
Great.
So it has had a very impact, and a lot of them have moved basically towards entrepreneurship, and it has basically, give them a foothold, in that respect. And they've moved substantially from just being prize winners to actually going into the realm of, standing on their own 2 feet as, sort of innovators.
So let's just sort of wrap it up. What happens? I mean, we do know that the participant wins 1.5 million rand towards this project. Is there any further development or support from the DBSA once the winner has been announced, the project has been developed? Do they get further support?
Yes, that's an important question. Just a clarity point, Leanne, is the 1.5 million is split across, the 3 winners. So it's not somebody walks away with 1.5 split between, the top 3. And what happens beyond that point is we have a mentorship program, because as a learning, as a lessons learned exercise from the 2019 edition, what we found is that it's not enough for the DBSA to give project, related advice only. There's a lot that goes with winning this prize, because they've got to set them up as entrepreneurs. There's a lot of essential skills that they need to pick up about how to position themselves, how to deal with matters of intellectual property, to protect their innovations and all of those things. So the mentorship program is meant to equip them with all of those essential skills insofar as winning the prize and then going beyond into the business world. How do you, find your way around? What are the essential skills, to have, things to do, and so on. So we're hoping that for a year thereafter, then they'll be able to stand on their own 2 feet with sort of, being in a better position to negotiate this maze, business, registering the intellectual property, and basically moving beyond that point also. So the mentorship is very, very critical. Because for the first edition, it was just about, give them project-related advice, but found out the need is much greater than just project-related advice that the DBSA can give insofar as product development. It's beyond that, essentially, yes.
All right, Zwelakhe, we'll leave it there for this morning. Thanks very much. Good luck to those that are going to be entering. We'll definitely keep up with you and hopefully find out who some of the entrants are, who the winners are, and what they've come up with. So Zwelakhe Tshandu is the Head of Knowledge Management and Innovation at the DBSA. So enter that competition, visit the website. I've just had a look at it now. All the details are there for you if you have a fantastic idea and you'd like to enter that and get a much-needed monetary boost for that project to actually become a reality.